I thought we was in this thing together. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of how I got back in contact with him because he mentioned that story on a TED talk. And so I got a Facebook ding that said you were mentioning a TED talk. I was like, who know me talking about me in a TED? I love TED talk. Like nobody know me doing no TED talk, and it was Zeke. And so that's kind of how we got reacquainted. I reached back out to him. I've always like, I've always been interested in like the MLM thing. I love the structure. It just makes perfect sense, right? I just didn't necessarily feel about the products enough to kind of sell my soul on it the way that I'm willing to do this because this is like everything we do here is a win-win. I mean, you get somebody to change their savings account to make more money with the same money they were saving, they win. You introduce that to them, you get paid off of that, you win. It's a win-win, and I love doing that. I like that type of business. And so, but I just could never make it work with other products. And so then when I saw this, I tried it with Zeke, and I was driving trucks, and I was, trying to do it on the phone and doing everything with that. And I don't know, I just couldn't get my mind right because I was kind of making good money in the trucks or whatever. Well, since that kind of, things happen and I still have that entrepreneurial spirit because I've only had a few like career type jobs, throughout my existence. I found an MLM with a product that makes sense for me, that makes sense for my community, that makes sense for my legacy, that I feel really comfortable with promoting, and here I am. I'm all in.
Okay, okay. So then, well, why were you skeptical at first? I think you kind of got into it a little bit. Why were you skeptical at first?
Because I didn't know. I mean, you always hear these success stories, but you don't know those people. I know this guy named Jacob Rakowski from when I was doing the Organo Gold, the coffee thing when I did that. I ain't never seen him. I don't even know if he a real person. As far as I can say, it could be AI. You know what I'm saying? I've never been. He's not tangible to me. You know what I'm saying? And for me to know somebody that I know, and I've seen him go from shit to sugar, that to me that's a testimony in and of itself. And not only that, because I already know the kind of guy that Hazik has always been. But to see what he's been able to do with a following that he more than deserves and is more than equipped to lead, and to see the successes that everybody else behind him, not even behind him, but like in his wake, is experiencing. I mean, I'd be a fool to not want to be a part of that. It just makes sense. And then the support that he is, and as real as he is, and just the way that everything is working out, and the payment structure, I'm in 10 toes down.
Okay, nah, that makes sense, man. That makes a lot of sense. Well, look, I guess I'm gonna get right into information, then, brother. You can sit back. I know your people, as your people hop on. You can drop, holler them in the chat. Make sure they good. Make sure they know they in the right place, right? I know I got a couple people that you probably want to text say, hey, we getting started right now. So I'm gonna let you hop off camera and do all that, and
Okay.
I'll get right into information. All right. So
Thank you, sir.
nah, we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk in the end. Don't even worry about it. We ain't done talking yet.
Okay.
All right, let me go ahead and cut your camera out. There we go. All right. Well, now, man, like that's an amazing story, man, and I love the fact that he's just so transparent. That says a lot. About the type of brother that is, and a little bit about me. I'm also from Atlanta, Georgia. I grew up on the south side of Atlanta myself, so I'm very familiar with Zig's area. But I actually used to work at the airport, in Atlanta, Georgia. A little company. I don't know if y'all heard of it. It rhymes with Mouth Vest, right? I worked at that company for over a decade, right? And I remember one time I was loading the airplane, and one of my coworkers he had a stroke right in front of me, and it was amazing watching it because I went to go help, and I pretty much saw my manager step over him and say, "Hey, we need to finish loading this airplane." I'm like, this man's sitting here about to die, and they're talking about loading the airplane. You know, at that moment, I felt kind of small. I felt unappreciated. Anybody ever felt like that at work? Say me in the comment section if you ever felt unappreciated at work. You know, um, for me, y'all, enough was enough. I reached out to a guy I was following on social media. This guy was extremely successful. Never had a job in his life. As a matter of fact, they put him on 60 Minutes at the age of 13. So I felt like he knew a lot about success. And I reached out to him. I said, look, man, I'm willing to do anything to change my life. I'm talking about anything, right? And then, he showed me this, right? And I said, look, man, I'm willing to do anything to change my life except for this, right? Because look, I had tried some things before and I didn't want to go down that path again, y'all. You ever been in a situation where you tried some things, it just didn't work out for you? Like you see other people winning around you, and you like, man, it's gotta be, it's gotta be the company, right? Or it's gotta be the product. Ain't it kind of weird that we never say it gotta be us? But I still reached out to him, and he was like, look, man, there's only two reasons why you weren't successful. He said, one, you had the wrong coach. He said, if you knew everything you need to know to have what you wanted to have, you would already be living the life of your dreams. So okay, that makes sense. And he said, look, the second problem you had is you got the wrong strategy, right? He said, look, God don't love the CEO more than God loves the janitor. He said the CEO is using better information. So I'm gonna give y'all tonight just a little bit better information of what changed my life. I reluctantly got started. Y'all ain't gonna lie to you. I didn't have the money. As a matter of fact, I actually overdrafted my account to get started. I ain't gonna say I recommend that for everybody, but I know it changed my life, right? The same way that Zig was talking about, Mr. Haziq Ali, that's my brother, right? He pushed me to go ahead and make it happen, even when I didn't, I really didn't have the money. But I'm blessed because I did, y'all. That first week I made an extra, $500. The second week, the second level of residual, and then 6 months later, I was able to leave. I'm sorry, 7 months later, I was able to leave my job. So I ain't worked a job in over a decade right now. I love the fact my credit score went up, a couple hundred points a couple of times. I love the fact that I travel more now than I did while I worked at the airline and flew for free. As a matter of fact, my lady takes more trips now, with or without me, because of this business. But what I'm more excited about is tell people, look, just like you and me have a opportunity to change their lives. Because a lot of time people are praying for things to get better when a lot of time we need to pray for more wisdom. If you pray for more wisdom, then maybe you'll be able to see the opportunity in the struggle. So what we're gonna talk about tonight is about this movement, it's about this community, and we call it Millionaire Minded, but it's Millionaire Minded powered by Novay. It's the credit and money company. Cause we got to keep it real, man. A lot of people are struggling. A lot of people are struggling financially, right? The kids say life be life. But right here, y'all, we say God be guiding too, right? We say God be guiding. So someone drop some. So if you know God be guiding, drop some praying hands in the chat for me, right? If you know God be guiding, drop some praying hands in the chat. Yeah. But look, let's be real, y'all, man. It means people that are struggling financially. Like, check this out. Check out some of these numbers. 1 in 3 consumers have a credit score below 669. In the black and brown community, it's about 45 points less. 50% of businesses fail within their first 5 years due mainly to lack of access to capital. And this is a big one for me, y'all. 61% of Americans don't have $1,000 saved up for an emergency. And that's kind of scary because it costs $100 to go outside. I walked outside to get this bottle of water, y'all, and I know I spent $100. Right? So people are praying for a solution. And guess what we got for them, y'all? We got a solution. It's called Novay. Like I said, it's the credit and money company. It's a fintech company that provides uh, greater access to credit and capital entrepreneurship for underserved communities nationwide. And it's based off 4 pillars, right? We got credit building, we got access to capital, we got debt help, entrepreneurship. And you're gonna see on the bottom of the screen, we got a lot of credibility, but none more credible than our CEO, right? This is Mr. Rico McDaniel McCambry. We're talking about somebody who grew up in the projects, in a single parent household, and still managed to become a millionaire by the age of 25, right? We're talking about a best-selling author. He got multiple books that he wrote, like The Plan or The Fatherless Father, or Fintech is the Future, right? Graduated from one of the top MBA programs in the country with a 4.0 GPA. Writes for Forbes.com as the industry expert. Selected to who's who in America business and finance. And led Novay to the Inc. 5000 list for the last 5 years in a row. We got to update this slide because it's 5 years in a row, y'all. I don't know if everybody even really knows what that means. That means out of the 7.7 million businesses that are started every single year, we're in the top 0.01% of growth out of all those businesses. If y'all think that's powerful, drop some fire emojis in the chat. Right? But look, I know you get invited to these things all the time. I get it. You get invited to these little things all the time. These little things, right? But check this out. This is why I guarantee. Because you get invited to little things. What I can guarantee is those little things aren't featured on, Black Enterprise Magazine or Essence Magazine or Yahoo Finance or Capital One Business or Inc. Magazine or Forbes.com or so on and so forth. I'm saying all that to say that when you connect with us, you connect with this movement, you're going to have a certain level of credibility. You have a certain level of gravitas. Because you're talking about in a world right now where people are struggling financially, you want to be the person that's selling access to capital. And guess what? Even that's free, right? You're going to love the fact that you can make money off for free over here, y'all. So you ready to hear about solution number one? Let me get number one in the chat. You ready to hear solution number one? Let me get a one in the chat. Look, I'm gonna talk to y'all, in the chat right now. I want y'all to talk back to me. I don't want to feel like I'm going crazy. I need y'all to engage with me. Is that cool, everybody? I appreciate it. I start seeing ones coming in. Some of y'all type in hosting panelists. That's okay. Make sure you type in everyone, right? So everybody can see there's more than just two people on here. Because there's a lot more than two people on here, right? All right. So let's talk about solution number one, y'all. Let's talk about solution number one. And look, and drop in the chat who invited you out, because we want to make sure that we let them know, right, that you're here, right? Drop in the chat who invited you out. But let's talk about solution number one. Solution number one is credit, right? Credit, and what I like to say is traditional credit repair is a guessing game, right? Traditional credit repair is a guessing game. That's why, you can go to your friend tell you about somebody who fixes credit, right? Because her credit score went up 300 points in 3 hours, right? And you get with that person, and now you're with them for 9 months, and you don't see any results. That's because they guess right with your friend, but guess wrong with you. And now you've met the credit repair person and your friend. But guess what? AI takes all the guessing out of it, y'all. So we got two solutions when it comes to credit. We got what we call our fast solution. We have our convenient solution. Someone drop F or C in the comment section. F or C, right? We got our fast solution. We got a convenient solution. We call it the fast solution because, you can get, we call it fast. Look, you can get started tonight, analyze your credit profile tonight, print your letters out tonight, even mail them out tonight, y'all. And, people love that fast. We also call it fast. People tend to get fast results. Typically people, see 5, 10, 15, 20 deletions on the first round. Me, I saw 25 deletions on my first round, which was insane because I ain't know I had 25 things to delete. You hear me, CJ? Right? Because all you do is, AI is going to generate the letters, and then all you do is going to sign and take the mailbox and drop it off, right? And that's pretty cool, right? Some people say, hey, Coach Flano, hey, Jamal, guess what? I don't have time to go to the post office. Well, that's cool. Now, that's why we got our convenient solution. Look, all you got to do is take a picture ID, a picture of a piece of mail, let the experts do all the work. And it even comes with a 90-day money-back guarantee that says if you don't get any results after 90 days, you get your money back. As a matter of fact, they'll even sue the credit bureaus on your behalf. How many people can use extra $500 to $2,500 because the credit bureau is messed up? Say me in the comment section, right? You can use that, couldn't you, Mike? Yeah, extra $500 to $2,500. Yeah, Mike taking hosting panelists. Alfonso, you can use extra $500, $2,500 for the bureaus messing up, right? Yeah, right. And even on the business side, I know we got some business owners right now, right? We even have our business credit and funding program, right? Our business credit finance week. It allows you to keep your personal credit separate from your business credit. Allows you to structure your business in a way to maximize funding. Even comes with your own business credit advisors that'll walk you through every single step. Because with our business credit program, yeah, you get videos that walk you through every step. Yes, you get literature that you can read that walks you through every step. But also you can pick up the phone and call somebody, right? And then it comes with a $50,000 funding guarantee, right? Somebody say 50K is for me, right? It comes with a $50,000 funding guarantee. It said if you don't get a minimum of $50,000, Janae, then guess what? You get your money back, right? And a lot of clients see, 100,000, 200, $300,000 in funding. But if you don't get a minimum of $50,000 in funding, you get your money back. I love the fact we ain't made it past solution number one yet, Robert. We ain't made it past solution number one yet, Robert. And I already gave you 2 money back guarantees. Drop some fire emojis in the chat for that. Y'all gonna talk to me today, right? But all three come with credit monitoring, online budgeting tools, $1 million worth of fraud insurance. Man, it's just a win-win for everybody. That's what Zig was talking earlier. He said, look, I love the fact it's a win-win for anybody. Right? Let's talk about solution number two. It's debt help, right? It's debt help. Look, we have what we call a bankruptcy alternative, y'all. Because I don't know. If y'all ever made anybody file bankruptcy, right? We have what you call a bankruptcy alternative. Well, if you got a minimum of $10,000 in debt, imagine making one phone call, you be able to cut your debt up to 50% immediately. Or be able to cut your payments up to 50% immediately. That way you're able to establish your credit, reestablish your credit a lot faster. And look, don't confuse this with debt consolidation. It's not debt consolidation. This is debt resolution. We'll help you get rid of your debt. Right? We'll help you get rid of your debt. We're not just making everything a one payment a month, right? Now we're talking about cutting your debt in half, y'all. Cutting your payments in half. Or if you're a business owner, or you know any business owners. We have our business debt help. My parents just went through this the other day, right? They went through a consultation the other day. If you got a minimum of $15,000 in debt, imagine you reduce your payments up to 90% immediately. Reduce the amount you owe down to 2% immediately. That way you get back focused on business, y'all. Somebody say debt free is for me. And I want you to understand this. You can look at this as a consumer, or you can look at it through the lens of an entrepreneur. If you look at it as a consumer, yeah, you need help with your credit. Yeah, you want to establish business credit. Yeah, you want to get out of debt, right? But if you look at it through the lens of an entrepreneur, you're like, man, so many people are struggling with these things. And guess what? You don't have to become an expert. All you got to do is refer to the website. And I'll tell you to do all the heavy lifting. Now, you'll get paid. You'll get compensated. But our team will do all the heavy lifting. So I think that's a win-win for everybody. Just like Zig said, right? So let's talk about solution number 3. Access to capital, right? Access to capital. You get a chance to be a walking, talking lending tree, right? So I don't know about y'all, right? Because, I don't know about y'all, but people tend to ask me to borrow money all the time, right? People tend to ask me to borrow money all the time. I don't know if it's the white linen I got on, right? I don't know if that's what. I don't know if it's the look. He got a little chain, right? I got a little chain. I got a chain that DJ Red had on Friday, right? I'm just tuck mine in, right? But people tend to ask me to borrow money all the time, y'all. And I used to say, I used to be like, I ain't got it, right? I used to say, I ain't got it. But guess what? The devil's a liar, because I do got it, right? But now what I do is, look, I just forward them over to my business, to my personal loan link, right? And look, this is how this works. Look, because look, I don't like chasing people down for my money. I send them over the link, they get approved. Guess what? I ain't got to chase them down to get my money back. I'm still gonna get paid regardless. If they don't pay back, that's on them. They don't affect me, right? But look, I'm talking about how genius this is. Now, let's say they get denied because their credit's messed up. Cool. I help them with their credit. Help them get a loan. Now I get paid 2 times. Somebody say 2 times in the comment section, right? Or let's say their debt to income's too high. Cool. Help them reduce their debt, right? Help them resolve their debt. Help them get a loan. Now I get paid what, y'all? 2 times. We've ever out you have a no credit check, no fee, no interest, pay their cash advance. Because let's be real, y'all. Some people really do need a couple dollars to make it to the end of the week, right? Let's be real. Some people are working double shifts and now they ain't got no money for lunch. So now you get a chance to be a blessing while getting blessed. And you're not the one that's underwriting these loans, y'all. All you doing is sitting over a link. And I love the fact that as an entrepreneur, you'll get paid and no one has to pay anything up front. That just it makes so much sense to me, right? On the business funding side, right? Up to $100 million in business funding, up to $150 million in real estate funding, right? We got partnerships with over 250 lenders. We like to say, look, if you can't get approved with us, you can't get approved nowhere, right? Any business owner they wants to offer a finance. I guess we got an option to help them offer finance and have a buy here, pay here. Yeah, they're able to finance their certain products, right? A buy down, pay later software, right? They can add that to the website. Access to grants, tax credits, all kind of cool stuff, y'all. So I think that's a win. Let's talk about solution number 4. Entrepreneurship. We got a lot of entrepreneur support, y'all. We got a whole lot of entrepreneur support, right? I love the fact that we help businesses start, get registered, get their LLCs registered, y'all. We can help them, with business coaching, right? And it's not gonna be you, 'cause, you brand new. You might not know nothing about business. Guess what? We got a whole team that's gonna help them with the business coaching part, right? Whole team gonna give them a year free of a domain, right? Or DIY website building, online store. We got teams that help them do all that. All you do is refer them to the website, help them get an LLC, and you get paid, right? Tax preparation and bookkeeping. I love the fact that man, people made thousands and thousands of dollars this year off taxes without doing any taxes themselves, right? If you know somebody that needs a website or logos and branding, guess what? They can go right to our website and you get paid for that. Life insurance, will and trust state. But guess what? You don't need any licenses or certification to help somebody with life insurance. Guess what? We don't sell life insurance, but we do offer access to some of the best life insurance policies in the country. And so I love the fact you like don't you love the fact you can get paid to help somebody with life insurance or will and trust, and you don't have to go study for your license for it. So somebody say Nova's a no-brainer, right? Somebody say Nova's a no-brainer. And my favorite thing is, y'all, you can join this community, you can join this movement. If we have a free church program, right? The church program is, to Marcia point, right? The church program is so simple. Like, look, I just rolled past church the other day that closed its doors, y'all. And I was like, man, I wish I would have had a chance I wish I would have knew that they were struggling so much. Like, people understand the reason why they passed the collection plate so many times on Sunday is because the business of the church has bills. Imagine if they could help their whole congregation and and be able to keep the doors open at the same time, right? But look, I know some of y'all about look. This sounds too good to be true, right? I know people be saying all the time. Have you ever heard somebody say that something sounds too bad to be true? Right? I ain't never heard nobody say that, right? They always say it sounds too good to be true, and it always seem to look like us when they say that, right? But I said people say it sounds too good to be true. I'm like, look, this is what I say, y'all. You can Google us. Yeah. You can Google us. We got real people, real results. A plus rated with a Better Business Bureau, thousands of positive testimonies, y'all. Hundreds on all different platforms, close to perfect review scores, y'all. Look, check this out. Real people, real results. I'm not gonna go over all this, but we got lifetime renters that became homeowners. We got people that came out of foreclosure and now they now they own their home. Well, we got 6-figure international real estate professionals that also make 6 figures doing this, right? We got more people who did this for a couple of months that never have a job again the rest of their life. Because look, it's a new era of entrepreneurship, y'all. It's called affiliate marketing. Kind of like Amazon, like Mike, it's kind of like Amazon, Walmart, or Best Buy. They pay millions of commissions a year, right? But Jeanette, check me out. They only pay a few pennies to a few dollars. Novell pay a few hundred to a few $1,000s per sale. Cause think about it, y'all know somebody that needs help with some of this stuff, y'all. Right? But I tell people all the time, all you doing is referring them to a website. All you gotta do is, you know, see if they're interested, show them some information, and get on the phone with somebody else. You can do that, can't you? If you can do that, you can get paid, Jewel. Right? And look, you don't gotta quit your job, dude. You don't need certifications. You don't need special skills. You don't need licenses. You don't need degrees. You don't have to get a PT. You ain't gotta learn how to underwrite loans or mail in letters or lick any stamps, keep any correspondence. You ain't gotta set up escrow accounts. You ain't gotta do any of that. All you gotta do is refer people to a website. And look, you refer people to websites all the time, y'all. Refer people to websites all the time. You refer people to Fashion Nova all the time, or Shein all the time, or your favorite hairstyles all the time, to your favorite loctician all the time, to your favorite barber all the time, to your favorite church all the time, to your favorite restaurant all the time, to your favorite book all the time. Why not refer them to something like this where you can get blessed and be a blessing to others? You can work anywhere in the world, set your own hours, get paid 10 plus different ways. The best way I can explain it is, y'all, you start off as an affiliate, but you end up a consultant. So I'm showing you how the money work to get up out of here, y'all. Look, I'm telling you right now, the last thing I'm gonna do is ask y'all for some money. I want you to understand it. Cause I know y'all be so scared. The last thing I'm gonna do tonight is ask y'all for some money. Right? But let's talk about it, y'all. Let's talk about it. Every time you hit, every time you hit somebody with their credit, you make $100 every time. $100, $100, $100. $100, $100, $100. Every time somebody with their credit, I want you to understand, if you make $15 an hour, it takes you 10 hours to make $100. Because a third of your checks will be gone due to taxes. So it takes 10 hours to make $100. And I told y'all earlier, it costs $100 to go outside. Like, this is $100 bottle of water. Right? Imagine being able to do that in a 10-minute phone call. Right? There's so many other ways that we get paid. Y'all, I ain't gonna go through all the details. Y'all can always go to novaepays.com, right? Y'all go to novaepays.com and it'll break down the whole compensation structure, y'all. But it's a win-win, y'all. My favorite way of getting paid, y'all, is nation building, right? My favorite way of getting paid is group economics. Somebody say group economics in the comment section. What I love about compensation plan is, y'all, is we don't even get paid till we help you get paid. Like, I love that for us. Imagine, imagine if I help Zig get started right, and I make 10 cents for every dollar that Zig makes. Imagine how many dollars I want Zig to make, right? But you can make up to $600 for everybody that joins your team, up to $500 for everybody that joins their team, right? So check this out. I ain't gonna hold y'all too long. I'm about to wrap it up. But look, I want y'all to look at this list right here, y'all. Look at this list. I want you to figure out where you want to be on this list. Right? I want you to figure out where you want to be on this list, CJ. Alfonso, I want to see where you want. Wait, I want you to figure out where you want to be on this list, King. Joyce, let me know where you want to be on this list. Mr. Shields, let me know you want to be on this list, right? And this ain't what some people are making here. It's what some people are making in a month. Like, you got permission to dream big. I want you to dream big. I don't know about y'all. We used to play a game growing up called That's My Car. Right? When a nice car ride by, we'll be like, that's my car. Right? Some people call it punch buggy. Right? Some people call it bingo. A nice car ride by, you be like, that's my car. People is getting fist fights over an imaginary car. And now you grow up and sell for a car to get you to point A to point B. I want y'all to dream bigger. I know without a shadow of doubt, I'm gonna be on level 8. There's no doubt in my mind. I'm being on level 8. And honestly, I'm gonna probably making more than that. I believe in Matthew 21, verse 1 and 2, it says, look, you have faith without doubting. You have anything that you ask for. So I gotta say this, y'all. What are you asking for? And then you believe you can actually have it. Speaking about, those cars, right? Nova even has a luxury car program. right? Novell will get you, one, two, maybe even, three cars, right? They'll pay for three cars, you know. And Zig like, look, man, I don't need three cars. I'm like, cool, you can give me the keys, Zig. I'll drive it, right? I got my Monday card, I got my Wednesday card, right? I got my weekend card, right? And look, nobody even pay for a mortgage too. Look, if you want to have nice cars and nice homes, why not have Nove pay for it? True or true, y'all? Somebody say Nove's a no-brainer, right? Somebody say Nove's a no-brainer. And when people say, look, I don't know what I'm doing. Cool. Got a whole learning platform, be able to learn at your own pace, got simple scripts, show you how to become a true professional. But look, the party's about to begin, y'all. Get your network and train with 6 and 7-figure earners. Got bilingual events. We got yacht party like the one that's coming up in a couple of weeks. If y'all ever wanted to go into a yacht in Miami, we actually got the largest yacht that they offer in Miami for one of our events. Drop some boats if y'all want to go kicking on the yacht the first weekend in September. Drop some boats in the chat, right? And there better be big boats. Better learn as you earn. Now remember what I said, y'all. The last thing I'm gonna do is ask y'all for some money. I know y'all be scared about that. The last thing I'm gonna do is ask y'all for some money. Somebody do that last thing right now. Y'all check this out, right? I'm about to do that last thing right now. But look, let's keep it real, man. We're talking about business, right? And I want you to understand this is big business. Somebody say this is big business. Like people see the 199 affiliate basic, right? It comes, that's direct sales only. You got member discounts, you got cashback travel and shopping, you got ongoing financial education, you got Nove Learn, you got your own website, you got live training, you got marketing tools, you got business credit training videos. They make up to $3,000 per customer, but you only get paid on what you do. Like I tell everybody, man, we don't despise small beginnings. This is all you can do right now. Go ahead and get started. Go ahead and get plugged in. It's okay. To help you upgrade later on. One of my top leaders on my team, right, started this package, made some money, and then upgraded. Because this is my thought process. You might as well go pro. If you're going to stretch anyway, you might as well go pro. Somebody say go pro in the comment section. Because this is the thought process. If you need to improve your credit anyway, why not get paid during the process? If you need to improve your credit anyway, why not get paid during the process? Because with all of the benefits from the affiliate basic, also comes with, obviously, credit monitoring comes with My Nove Disputes, which is the AI, right? Make up to $3,000 per customer. Make up $600 per teammate. You get team overrides. You get rank-based monthly residual. You get rank-based luxury car program. You get rank-based mortgage program, y'all. Everything you need to succeed with Nove. What I love about it is once you get 5 customers or 5 teammates or a combination of the two, just one time, then now you got a free business, right? Even lemonade stands got overheads, y'all. You have a free business. I can't remember last time I paid the $99, right? It's all 100% tax deductible. Tax season going to come up, right? Matter of fact, right now is the perfect time to get started because now you can start building up your clientele for tax season, which is going to be the easiest sale you ever do because everybody got to file taxes. And guess what? You'll get paid for taxes without have to do taxes, right? And some of our proceeds go to our nonprofit. So look, so 3 times people have to see this information. First person says, look, Jamal, you had me when I saw you in the background like this, right? Say I'm ready to get started, right? We're gonna walk you through the process, help you get started. I'm gonna say, welcome to the family. Let's go. Woo! Right? Welcome to the family. Or you might be number 2. Number 2 says, I'm interested, but I got a couple of questions. For those people, we say, cool. We're gonna definitely look. Call us, we're gonna figure out if it's a good fit for you. Guess what? It might not be a good fit for you, and that's okay. But at least you know that this is a real thing. You know that people are winning all over the country. Because you seen the videos in the beginning. Like Lamont, you know people are winning. Mike, you know people, Alfonso, you know the people when you seen the video in the beginning. Janae, you know people are winning, right? Or you might be number 3. Number 3 says, look, I make too much money already. You know, I park my boat, an even bigger boat. I take a helicopter to my private jet. I got 12,000 properties all over the United States. If I make any more money, I'm gonna break out of the house, right? For those people who say, cool, maybe you can at least, get back with Zig, right? Get back person who invited you out and say, hey, I open up a free bank account for you, right? We offer high yield savings account where people can get 3, 4, 5% interest on their money. We don't see your banking information, right? But you get 3, 4, 5% is gonna help Zig grow his business, or help the person that invited you out grow their business, right? Or you can make a post on social media. They do a lot to help them grow. Guess what? If you do that, we'll give you a free 3-day, 2-night vacation. If you do both of those things, you go open a high yield savings account and you gotta make a post on social media. But we'll give you a free 3-day, 2-night vacation. It's a real thing, y'all. It's a real thing, right? So, with that being said, y'all, look, thank y'all. Go ahead and start texting Zig right now. Let them know if you're a 1, 2, or 3. Text person who invite y'all right now. Let them know if you're a 1, 2, or 3. This thing changed my life, and I know what I shot that we're gonna change so many lives all over the country. I'm telling y'all right now, it's gonna be more beneficial for the black and brown community than the civil rights movement was for us. I truly believe that. We're on the way to be $1 billion company. I want you to understand what that breaks down to. Right? And we negotiate a 50-50 split with corporate, right? So we're talking about 83. You know, 1, 2, or 3 are right down the screen, Z, right? I wrote that down for him, right? $83 million a month. Right? So that's about, so this is 84. So that's about $42 million a month is being split between me and Zig and Haziq. Look, if you only got 1% of that, how many people would love to break down 1% of $42 million a month? You're gonna be a part of that. So with that being said, y'all, let's get started with this movement and start changing some lives and let's grow. All right, Zay, you got anything you want to say before we get up out of here, King? Big dog, you go ahead and unmute your line real quick. You got anything you want to say before we get up out of here?
Yeah, man. I just appreciate your breaking down like a lot of the things that a lot of people have questions about. You kind of cleared up some things that was on my mind too. Made them a little bit more clear for me. And I think that's what I was trying to get my people to join for this meeting to hear just some clarity. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know, I'm not as knowledgeable as you or Zeke, but I definitely got the passion that we all share. You know, and I understand that the products that we offer are going to be helping our community, going to be helping the people that we're serving. And I just feel so good about selling something that makes me feel good about selling it, where I'm not sniggling because somebody bought my product like I got away with something or I got over on them. It ain't a hustle. You know what I'm saying? It's a real
That's it.
win-win situation. And I love to put myself in a situation where I can go out and just be as, I guess assertive as I am naturally for a product that I know is going to benefit the people that I'm selling to, quote unquote, selling to, but appealing to, you know. And so I appreciate you kind of spelling out some of the details, and I think that it's offered some clarity to the people that I invited tonight, and I hope it did. And at least it gives us a point where they'll have some specific questions. I'm sure that they'll be able to ask me that if I can't answer, either you or Haziq will be able to. You know what I'm saying? So thank you for your time and for your knowledge. And I think we're gonna be moving forward a lot more quickly than I even anticipated with this type of support, because this is not the support that you get in any other venture that you go out on your own. You're on your own in a lot of other ventures, but in this one, I'm well supported. So even if I feel like I'm a drown, I know I got a couple of lifeguards I can reach out to that's gonna save me and the whole life and the whole line, because it's a team, and I'm a team building guy, and I'm a team player. You know what I'm saying? So I'm willing to lead a team and I'm willing to follow. And I think I'm inviting the people here that feel the same way that I do, and it's gonna work out perfectly, man. I'm just happy to be here. So I appreciate your time, bro.
I love it. I love it, man. Well, now, I appreciate you, King. Trust us. Talk to your family and friends. If y'all got questions, definitely reach out to Zig and we'll get your questions answered. With that being said, make sure you do something today that your future you will be proud of. And look,